Did scientists just create a brain implant that can read your mind? We'll take a deeper look at a key advance in the hunt for genuine mind reading in this video. Scientists have created a brain-computer interface, BCI, that truly does enable communication without physical speech, and it's a game-changer in the profession. It used to be science fiction, but it's now a reality. We've seen how sci-fi technologies may make their way into the real world before, with anything from submarines to credit cards. However, many people believed that reading minds would always be impossible. We were mistaken, it turns out. In today's video, we're answering the startling question, did scientists just invent a mind-reading brain implant? Today's topic is the result of many years of work across various fields. Because of parallel advances in the domains of neuroscience and artificial intelligence, research into mind reading has advanced rapidly. Breakthroughs in both have resulted in greater understanding and interpretation of brain activity in general. However, the key to mind reading is translating specific brain waves or firing neurons into something that can be read, into words and language. Excitingly, the transformation of thoughts into words appears to be becoming increasingly feasible in recent times. Researchers published an essay in the journal Nature in 2021 outlining how they were able to replicate text in real time using imagined hand motions. A computer was able to read the cerebral activity of those participants with extraordinarily high accuracy, up to 94%. And so uncover what they were picturing by merely having them imagine the act of writing out words or characters. The technique employs a brain-computer interface, or BCI, which is a small chip or electrode placed on or implanted in the head to detect brain waves and neurological connections. However, there are already other methods for measuring brain activity. A functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, machine was used in research published in Nature in 2019. During the experiment, scientists were able to train an AI to replicate images of human faces previously seen by participants. After displaying participants a created image of a person's face, a variational autoencoder was able to figure out what the face looked like by scanning their brains and converting recorded brain activity into another image. It was successful 95% of the time. The details of yet another groundbreaking experiment have now been made public. A group of researchers from the University of California, San Francisco, have advanced mind-reading equipment even further than before. Back in 2019, the team began examining a man who had become completely paralyzed after a car accident many years before in the lab of neurosurgeon Edward Chang. After he agreed to the procedure, physicians broke up his skull and implanted a miniature BCI onto the surface of his brain to read his neural activity once more. With the chip in place, researchers went out to investigate possible ways for the man to communicate, which had previously been impossible for him. It soon became evident that he could now enter words into a computer screen just by thinking about them. The study was regarded another breakthrough success, despite its limitations. The individual could only speak roughly 50 words out of a total of 50, and the built sentences were inaccurate more than 25% of the time. However, the scientists have since released another research report involving the same man. The team expanded their research in 2022 by changing their methods. Instead of using a preloaded bank of graphic words, they had their participant draw letters using the NATO phonetic alphabet. If he wanted to say A, he would concentrate on alpha, Bravo to B, Charlie to C, and so forth. He was able to form full phrases and had a substantially improved vocabulary by using this new strategy. More than 1,000 different words were decoded during the course of the trial, far more than he could initially communicate with. But, once again, there are some issues. His vocabulary may have grown by spelling out individual letters, but his rates of word production declined. He proceeded from speaking 50 words to over 1,000, with computer models indicating that up to 9,000 unique words were possible. At the same time, he could only produce about 29 characters per minute, roughly 7 to 10 words on average. That is an extremely sluggish rate when compared to normal human speech, which moves at a rate of 120 to 160 words per minute. Clearly, there is still work to be done. The good news is that speed appears to be the only thing standing in the way of scientists having true, real-time interactions with anyone else's mind. We already have the foundational technology in place and only need to improve and streamline it. In reality, we're already doing it to some extent. A further study conducted in 2022 by Caltech neuroscientist Sarah Wandelt successfully demonstrated the capacity to read a person's thoughts to decipher words rather than letters. This time, the experiment was carried out by placing an electrode on someone's posterior parietal cortex, a specific region of their brain. And, strangely, because the person was bilingual, the associated computer allegedly recognized both Spanish and English terms. The key constraint was that this was a preliminary investigation, with the computer effectively predicting words from a limited set of possibilities. Indeed, there are a lot of challenges that result from this type of research, as well as some reasons why it may have looked delayed up until now. There is a reported lack of test participants, and experiments frequently necessitate invasive surgery on those who do volunteer, including cutting into the skull and affecting the surface of the brain. There are also concerns with maintaining brain implants, which could necessitate their replacement on a regular basis, necessitating additional surgery and risk. Non-invasive surface devices are also being developed, but they are not yet capable of reading the brain's thoughts as clearly. Nonetheless, many think that developing superior non-invasive implants is a safer bet. In theory, there should be significantly less risk involved. Finally, there may be some broader social ramifications to consider. Mind-reading implants have clearly been a highly beneficial thing in all of the studies so far, with the ability to restore speech to patients who have entirely lost the ability to speak. This type of science and technology was once only a pipe dream, but we are today on the cusp of making it a reality. However, some have expressed alarm about the potential future routes it could take. Could those who have implants, for example, be significantly more vulnerable? Could a mind-reading chip be utilized for more sinister purposes now that their inner thoughts are accessible? Could it be hacked or encrypted by a third party? For the time being, these are more questions for a sci-fi dystopia. However, there will undoubtedly be numerous unexpected obstacles that scientists and developers will have to work around. With the ability to read minds, the normal instinct to ponder before speaking may be lost, and this could lead to a very different world. There is still a long way to go in this story. Implants still require significant technical development before they are really free-flowing. We know that when a brain decides to speak, it transmits far more signals than just the words it wants to express. Signals to move the tongue, mouth, jaw, and other parts of the body are all jumbled up with the signal for the word itself. To become more efficient at mind reading, we must learn how to cut through the background noise and extract only the vital indications. It's also worth noting that all implants to date have required some sort of obvious midpoint between one brain and another, the computer systems used to translate brain activity. To date, no experiment has demonstrated instant telepathy, and the physics of that sci-fi superpower remain mostly unknown. There is an effort on to make brain implants completely wireless, which could be the next step ahead. As with all emerging technology, it's a case of watch this space. Look back a few decades, and the implants we have now would have been difficult to fathom. But they've arrived, and the rest of the world is waiting to see what happens next. Because that is exactly how scientists are developing a mind-reading brain implant. Conclusion. In this rapidly evolving landscape where science fiction becomes a reality, the creation of a brain implant that can read our minds stands out as an extraordinary achievement. From its potential to transform the lives of individuals with disabilities to its ability to unlock the secrets of human cognition, this technology holds tremendous promise. However, it is essential to approach this advancement with caution, addressing the ethical considerations that arise as we venture into uncharted territory. Striking a delicate balance between progress and individual rights will be pivotal as we navigate the uncharted waters of mind-reading technology. As awe-inspiring as this breakthrough may be, we must remember the importance of responsible innovation. By harnessing the potential of brain implants while respecting privacy, consent, and personal autonomy, we can ensure that this technological triumph remains a force for good in our ever-evolving world. Thank you for joining us on this compelling exploration into this cutting-edge scientific development. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest scientific wonders that continue to shape our lives. We'll see you next time on Information 01.